replace a water pump on a 95 Eldorado, and I've done all the research I'm going to do. I think I got it pretty dialed in. I went ahead and took off the plastic trim here and over the headlights and on this side, and I removed this piece and pulled it back out of the way so I could get the air cleaner box out, and the support that stands on, just really nothing to it, they just pop right out. And then I went ahead and pulled off the shield that covers the water pump pulley belt. There's a couple of screws and a bolt, not a big deal. So all that remains to do is I'm going to pop off this top heater hose, get some access. We're going to undo this lower hose, or the thermostat hose here, and then the little 3/4 inch hose back here, and that way we'll have access to the housing and the pump itself. Okay, so before I do that, I just wanted to got the pump housing gasket there, got the water pump here. It's a Bosch with the O-ring. Got a new thermostat with the gasket, and this is the GM water pump socket, and that removes and replaces the socket. Here's a breaker bar needed for that, big 1/2 inch breaker bar. Also, I wanted to mention that I guess when I pop that top hose, it's going to drain the fluid out, and I've got a pretty good catch-all under here that I found in the trash that should do it. So let's see what happens when we undo those screws. Okay, we got the big hose out of the way. Just set it up over there. Drain probably, I don't know, a couple quarts out. Now we're going to go for the lower hose there. Okay, now we got the lower hose off, tucked out of the way. And I guess it's time to, we'll take that little 3/4 inch line off, or 1 inch line. Okay, I remember reading how it said to undo the clamp here, but don't take the hose off yet because it's kind of hard to get it off right now, because this hose is pretty tight in there. So I guess we'll go ahead and pull the housing off, these nuts, these two, and then there's two underneath, and we'll see what it looks like. I guess we got to get the belt off first with this tensioner. And stick that baby right in there and loosen up like that. That belt should come right off like that, and then let's see what we can do, how easy it pulls off. We'll go ahead and pull the water pump housing off now. Okay, the housing's loose. It was just 4 screws, 4 bolts, and this front bottom one here was a little bit, that's tricky. Unless you got a 1/4 inch ratchet handle, you're gonna have to use a wrench. So I just used a little box end wrench and got it out, but the other ones you can get out pretty easy with that 10mm and 3/8 if you got it. But it came out easy, drained the rest of some more fluid. Now I'm going to pull that clamp off there and pull the housing out. Now we can see what the water pump looks like there. And I guess, you know, we're going to fit that socket right over that sucker. Pull that thing out, huh? See what happens and clean it all up. Okay, I got the socket on there, or it's in, and I got the breaker bar on, but I think I'm going to have to remove this support here and maybe this bracket so I can get a better angle on it. I just can't get 90 degrees, so I'll do that. Okay, I guess I got lucky because I had that sucker in there and I didn't think I had enough leverage, and I gave it all I got, and it popped just about when I was about to give up. That was all I could give it, and I don't have a tube to put over this breaker bar, so I got darn lucky that that thing popped out, and it just popped right out too. So it takes quite a bit of torque, but I think with a longer breaker bar or a tube over it, it should be pretty easy. Here's the old gasket. I'm assuming that's where it's leaking. So here's the old water pump. And it just runs off that pulley. Looks like it's kind of gunked up there. Who knows, maybe it was leaking from there. But, alright. I'm going to clean that up and then pop this baby back in. I guess all you do is line it up with the 1 o'clock. There's a tang that's supposed to be in the 1 o'clock position. Let's see where that is. Right here, looks like. Yeah, it's up there. Yep, that's it right there. Alright, and we got to turn our counterclockwise this time to tighten it. And I think I saw somewhere 73 pounds of torque. I don't have a torque wrench, so it seems like it's seated pretty good. I don't know where else to go. So, done deal. Okay, we got the water pump housing, thermostat housing area all cleaned up. Got in there and got all that gunk out of there, what it was. And I'm kind of debating as to whether I should put some RTV sealant on it, because it's a little bit pitted in some of these areas way down in here. I don't know if you can see that. See those pits? Got the housing gasket in, and I put a slight bead of RTV along this area where those pits were, and got the ring on the thermostat. I guess we'll go ahead and see how that fits in there. And get that baby in. Okay, got the housing gasket in, got the thermostat in with the O-ring, nice and tight. I decided not to use any RTV on that gasket, and I'm just going to go ahead and fit her in. Alright, thought you might like to see this part. Just fit that into that hose there. And just pop those screws right in. So we'll get those tightened up, get the hoses back on, get the belt back on the pulley, and take stock. Okay, we got the housing on, thermostat in, small line on. Now we'll put the other two hoses on and the pulley, just like that. That's it. Okay, I got lower hose on, upper hose on, cross brace and bracket on, belts on, everything's tight. I'm going to leave the air filter off right now, and these covers, and I'm going to start it up. I put in about 6 quarts of premix, and I'll start it up in a second, see what happens. Kind of hard to see if there's any leaks, but I'll check. The only shot would be the thermostat or the housing. So that took me about 2.5 hours, and probably a good close to an hour was cleaning everything out. So it's really not that difficult of a job. So I hope you enjoyed. Water pump, thermostat replacement on a 95 Eldorado. There she is.